teaching coach here, and I'm a founding teacher at the school, so I've been here since 2005. And as teaching coach, I work in all of the classrooms with all the teachers. I get to know all of the children. It's really fun.
My name is Sylvia Ramos. I'm the business manager, and I'm also a founding staff member, and I also speak Spanish. So I do a lot of things at school, but but we work in our offices are in the we call it the office suite.
Yeah. So we're going to cover what does a typical day look like at Ross. All of you have children from 1st grade through 8th grade. Our kindergarten families are like nervous, so they get their own little meeting with the kindergarten teachers, but we're going over kind of the same things. So we'll go over a typical day at Ross, but you'll get more specifics from your own classroom teacher as well. And then after school things, behavior, communication, fees, family involvement, and the family handbook. But there will be time for question and answers at the end. So I'll begin with a typical day at Ross. Students should arrive on time and be ready to learn when they get here. That does mean that they should have breakfast before they arrive. We're always a little surprised. Oh, I didn't eat anything yet today. So please, some breakfast before they arrive would be great. Please have your children arrive between 8:45 and 8:55. Usually we're ringing the bell outside and children are starting to come in at 8:55. And class begins at 9 o'clock. Also, just new this year, if you would like some early morning help, beginning at 8:15 for $5 a day, we'll have childcare on site here. So you do have to sign up for it ahead of time, but I think you can even sign up for it like the day before you need it, just so we know how many families are coming. But it's $5 a day starting at 8:15. So, because we know that some families have to get to places. For our morning drop-off, if you are planning to drive your children to school, there's just this closest lane of traffic in the morning time. So we just use this closest one so the children can step right out on the sidewalk. And if you're using that, please stay in your car, and one of us will come open your car, greet your child, and welcome them for the school day. If you want to park, then use a parking spot over there, but don't park your car and leave it here near the sidewalk, because that stops up the whole works. And if you need to cross, if you are parked in the parking lot and you need to cross, there's a stop sign way down there near the dumpsters, and that's where to cross. There's a little crosswalk right there, and we're always modeling for our children, and that is where we ask our children to cross. And it's the safest place because during the busy times of the day, there's a staff member there with a stop sign and directing traffic and stuff. So if they see us run across when we think it's safe, they're going to try to run across when they think it's safe, and a 5-year-old may not be able to determine that as well as we can. So please use that stop sign that's down there by the dumpster. And we do say you all say your goodbyes for the school day outside. And when the children enter the building, this is their place. This is a typical Montessori thing because this is the child's school and not your school. So of course, especially for the kindergartners, the parents want to come to their cubbies and hang their things up and whatnot. But we teach even the young ones how to hang things on their cubby, to put on their indoor shoes, things like that. So we take time to do those things, and it's all right. Hi. If your child's going to be absent, please call the front desk. The school phone number is 970-963-7199, and let the front office know, even if you already told the teacher. We think we do a pretty good job of communicating between front office and teachers, but things fall through the cracks. So if you get a text message at some point in the day, just know that that means we haven't seen your child yet, or we didn't know they were going to be absent. If we already knew that they were going to be absent, then you won't get that text. But of course, if you get the text that says your child's not at school today, and you did send your child to school today, please reach out to us, because we want to make sure they're actually here for their safety. Everyone's calm nerves. And then during the morning time, our classrooms all have about 3 hours of what's called the Montessori work cycle. And what is happening then is the teachers are working with small groups of children or individually, and teaching new things. And then the other children who aren't in that new lesson are working on things that they already know how to do. And it's typically 3 hours in a Montessori classroom, and of course we build up to that for the first couple weeks of school. I'm not going to say go do schoolwork for 3 hours on day one. That's not going to happen. But we build up to that, and it really gives the children a lot of freedom. Nobody is going to say everybody in the class has to do math at 9 o'clock. Everybody in the class has to do literacy at 9:30, right? That's not how it goes. It's more freedom. If the child wants to start with math, great. If the child wants to start with reading or writing or science or history, that's all great. And they learn to manage their own schedules throughout the day. But again, we support them in learning all of that. And for our enrichment classes, which are in the afternoons, 1st through 6th graders have visual arts, Spanish, PE, which is usually outside, gardening, and a new enrichment for us, which is American Sign Language and Performing Arts. So we think it's going to be American Sign Language for like 4 to 6 weeks, and then Performing Arts for 4 to 6 weeks, and kind of back and forth. We base our enrichment classes, partly on what children want to learn about, but also partly on the talent we have on our staff. And we have some new talent on our staff who know ASL and Performing Arts. So that will be a fun one, I think. Lunch is, we have 2 classrooms eating lunch in here at one time. Before COVID, we would have up to 5 classrooms eating lunch in here at one time. Then during COVID, we weren't allowed to do that, and we learned we never have to do that again. Because it was not good. So we have 1 or 2 classes eating lunch in here at a time, and then a couple times a week your child will also eat lunch in their classroom with their classmates. So they get some mingling throughout the week during lunch, and sometimes they're with their class in their classroom. And then we offer hot lunch on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and that schedule is on the Google Calendar, which is on our website. And families can deposit money into a lunch account, which is definitely what I would recommend. Just put some money in there, and then each time your child has lunch, that goes down, and then you'll get a text alert regarding your lunch balances. And this year, hot lunch will start August 21st, so not next week. We won't offer any next week, but the first full week of school, we'll have hot lunch. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, everybody needs to bring their own lunch. And lots of children bring their own lunch every day. That's up to you. And hot lunch is $4.75.
Yes, for lunch.
And if your child wants seconds of the main dish, then it's an additional
$2.25.
Thank you, Sylvia. I kind of know these things, but not really. Please do prepare your lunches for ease of eating. I was a lower elementary teacher for a long time, and I can't tell you how many times a first grader is like, I can't open this thing, and we get that one open, and then there's more stuff inside to open, right? And when you have 10 children that need all of that, it's a lot for the adults. So please do have, either teach your child how to open the things, or just send it in something that they already know how to open. Let's see, what else? And label everything. We end up with lots of little Tupperwares that just, with no lids, or maybe just a lid. Label it, and it will get back to you. If it's not labeled, it might not get back to you. So then after lunch, well, actually it depends on which grade level they're in. They'll either have about 30 minutes for recess and then 30 minutes for lunch, or the other way around. The classes kind of switch. So some of them are lunch first, then recess, some are recess, then lunch. And then after recess and lunch is when we have our enrichment classes, and then they also have about 1 hour, an hour and 20 minutes or so back in their classrooms in the afternoon. For dismissal, students are dismissed at 3:30, and we do offer bus service both in the morning and in the afternoon, which is probably the easiest way for parents, but not the most convenient for all families. But for pickup in the afternoon, we use both lanes here, and we'll ask you to pull all the way up, and we'll be like, I am all the way up, and we're like, there's 4 more feet, all the way up, please, get on up here, so that we can get as many children into cars as we can, efficiently. So again, you'll stay in your car, and we will bring the children to you, we'll get them in the car, and then a whole group of vehicles all leave at the same time, and then the next group gets filled up and on repeat. Again, if you want to park, you park over there, and you cross near the dumpster over there. Please, we do ask that your children stay at school for the whole school day, but we do know that every once in a while you need to pick them up early. So if you do that, please call the school 5 to 10 minutes before you arrive to pick your child up, and we'll have them come to the office at that time. But we really do need your kids here as much as possible. There's a lot to do. I've had families go, are we gonna miss anything if we're out every Friday? Yes, you'll miss things. That's the answer. And no, there's not really a way to make up all the things that you'll miss, because so much of it is social learning and what happens in the classroom that can't be replicated in other ways. After school, we have many activities nearby that you can find on our website. We will be offering access after school sometimes throughout the school year here on site, so you'll get information about those classes. A bus also comes here from Blue Lake Preschool and will take children to Blue Lake. And also a van from Stepping Stones comes and takes kids to Stepping Stones. So if your family uses either of those childcare options, contact Blue Lake or Stepping Stones for more information about those buses. But that works really well. Blue Lake always knows, they're like, we're supposed to have these children, and they just, today, right? And we get those kids on the bus, and they go off to Blue Lake for the afternoon. Yeah.
Before you move fully on, I have a drop-off pickup question.
Yeah.
If they're biking, she's a 7th grader, if she just bikes, do you guys need to know that, or?
Our older children simply verbally tell their teacher, hey, I'm biking today, see ya, and out they go, right? When our younger children, like 3rd grade and younger, are gonna be biking without an adult, then we want to know that from the family, right? Because it sounds a little fishy when a 3rd grader or younger is biking on their own. Lots of them do, but when it's the first time or something, we wanna know.
For a 7th grader, she can decide in the morning.
7th grader, that's right.
You don't need to know. She needs to tell the teacher.
That's right. At the end of the day. Yeah. No, how children get here in the morning, we never know how they get here in the morning. They're either at their bus stop and picked up at the bus, or they're driven here, or they bike or walk. We do have 1st graders who walk and bike home by themselves, and we think that's amazing that we can do that here in Carbondale, right? We think it is safe, and if you and your child have practiced and you're ready for it, go for it. But also we have lots of kids, a 5th grader bikes the 2nd grader home or something like that. That also happens. For behavior, we always ask children to have respect and courtesy for themselves and each other, adults, and the environment. And we are the Ross Montessori Marmots. I don't know if you knew that's our little mascot. And we all use manners And we have accountability for ourselves. That's what the A stands for. R stands for respect. M is mindset. O is opportunity to lead. T is trust. And S is show you care. And all the students at all age levels use this acronym to talk about our behaviors and in age appropriate ways, right? It looks a little different for the 5-year-olds than it does for the 12-year-olds. But we all talk about these as something that we focus on. And you're up next.
Communication, we know communication is important between the school and the parents. So every grade, K through 8th, will have a go home folder that goes home on Monday with information, and then you send it back on Friday. The first week, they will send that folder home. There's 2 pockets that says stay at home, send back to school. So there's a lot of forms, all different colors. You can fill them out, put them back in that folder, and then send them back. That's one way we communicate. We try to use not too much paper, but we still have to use some paper. If you want to get a hold of a staff member, you can look on the website, but also staff email addresses is their first name, period, last name, @rossmontessori.org for your teacher or anybody on staff. If you want to get a hold of you don't know what the teacher's name or the last name, front desk @rossmontessori.org. We have 2 staff members who look at that every day and will forward any messages to whoever their question needs to go to.
Yeah, so that one's good. Front desk
@rossmontessori. Yeah.
Anything you don't know what to do with, send it there.
Send it there. And then someone will get back to you. A weekly email from the front office, it's called the Friday follow-up, and that just gives information of upcoming events, what's going on in the classrooms. You might see some pictures in there. And then teachers will email families weekly, bi-weekly as needed. So you'll get one from the school as a whole and one from your teacher. We have a service, text messaging. So if there's like a reminder of an event, or there's no bus service, or school, we have a snow day, you will get a text message for reminders. Best way to contact the teachers, if it's not an emergency, you just need to say you're not going to be here, or you have a question, email is the best way. We say teachers are with the kids in the morning because we have that 3-hour block time. In the afternoon, they have some time where they will, during lunch or in the afternoon, they will have some time to get back to you. We ask teachers to email you back within 24 hours or any of our staff members. Our website is www.rossmontessori.org. On that, you will find job applications, you'll find upcoming events, you'll see a school calendars on there, the lunch calendar, bus schedule, financial transparency, just a lot of information on there. We're always updating it. We do have our Facebook, and that also kind of gives like events or pictures of kids doing certain activities. So please follow us. Bus routes will be at www.rossmontbus.com, but also you can find it on our webpage. We have a Twitter account @Ross Montessori, and then we have Pinterest if you would like to follow. So we have a lot of little social medias, all the things. You will sign a release for your child if you don't want your child to show up on any other social media. But we just show pictures of kids working or field trips, anything kind of exciting going on.
And we don't include their names.
No.
We just say, here's some kids doing some cool stuff.
The application uses alert solutions, and those are for text and emails. So if it's like reminders, really important to go text and email. We try to do both because some people always check their emails, and text, I think it's really easy. We will send home a calendar, a school year calendar in the go home folders. So please put that where visually you can see. You'll see days off, you'll see board meetings, and holidays on that calendar. If you have any questions, just let us know. We are a public charter school, so we don't charge a tuition, but we do ask $300 per student for the school year, and that includes for supplies and activity fees. That fee is due on September 30th. If for whatever reason you need to make payments, or pay ahead, you can contact the office or contact me or Becca. If you need financial assistance, please let us know. In your go home packet, there is a family economic data survey, and that determines if you qualify for a reduced lunch, and that will also help to determine if you need help paying those $300 fees. You can make that payment either by check, you can pay with cash, you can go on our website, and there is an option there where it says pay. You go in there, put your child's name, your name, and you can select either lunch, you can put lunch money or pay your fees online. And then I will send an invoice through QuickBooks. There are also, when you get that invoice in your email, you can also click on that and pay your fees that way. So different ways you can pay that. If you have any questions, please ask.
Yeah, and that's for, like Sylvia said, it's the supplies and activity fees. So we're not going to ask any of you to go buy pencils and notebooks and folders and stuff. We just do that. We just do it. So it's probably less expensive than lots of the other options if you were to go to Target or Walmart or something. And then also during the school year, we won't ask you to pay for field trips or things like that. It's just embedded in that activity fee. So our families find that that's pretty convenient.
Yeah, especially the older, like middle schoolers and upper L will go on camping trips.
Yeah.
That's also included in there.
Yeah.
Their foods and all the costs.
Yeah.
Or, family involvement, we do ask families to provide about 25 hours of volunteer per family. There are clipboards when you come into the office where you check in. You can join the class for lunch, volunteer in the garden, PTO, and different activities, or we have the annual fund, we have the school board, and we have the foundation. So we have a couple boards. You're welcome to ask Ms. Sonia or send us an email. We'll give you more information. If you want to help in the classroom with reading or field trips, please contact your teacher. In your packet, new families will get a family handbook. In that handbook, it's also available online. And if you need an extra copy, please let us know. It's updated every year. There's also a contact sheet to see who you want to contact with emails. Also, just like, some rules, drop off, pick up, dress code. It's just kind of look it over. If you have any questions, it's a good thing to refer to throughout the school year.
Yeah.